Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, yes, indeed, we're looking ahead of the governorship and state houses of assemblies election that will hold this weekend, but not without a review of what transpired previously, whether or not it's going to be a pointer or sign of things to come. We're joined this morning, as you may have seen before the report, by Dr. Ejike Oji, who is the spokesperson for the All Progressive Grand Alliance in Abia State. He's also candidate for the he was candidate for the Federal House of Representatives in the state as well. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Well, that report, many other comments have been attendant to that report severally. Let's get maybe an insight into what transpired while we look ahead of the elections. What was your account of what happened in Abia?
Yes, well, first of all, let me thank Channels for being the mouthpiece of the oppressed, so to speak, in Nigeria, at least putting the record straight for Nigerians to see what's going on in this great country. What happened in Abia, for me, was unthinkable. Elections generally across the country, you could see there was some peaceful and some level of respect of people's rights and civil liberties. But in Abia, it was a different thing altogether. The election was characterized by people in authority brutalizing the populace they want to go and represent, using state apparatus, state security agencies. It was characterized with ballot box snatching. It was characterized by holding hostage electoral materials in the different local governments and rewriting results. It was characterized by people being coerced to vote parties they didn't want to vote for.
Are some of these things documented for people to see,
Sure.
those who were not there, like ballot snatching? You know, many thought that how could they still be snatching ballots even with the introduction on the PVC?
It happened. There are eyewitnesses who have sworn testimonies, who are ready to testify as to what they saw. Some people have videotapings. We're still trying to track them and get them to. Some are even afraid of their lives.
Did you see any one of those snatching clips?
I didn't see myself.
This is third-party information.
This third-party information, because I was in my booth as a Nigerian who respects the law. And today, because I was a candidate, I stayed only in my booth to vote and police the votes in my booth. And it was peaceful. I didn't intimidate anybody. Everybody voted and stayed, and the votes were counted.
So you don't think that this account of snatchings and all the characterizations were or are at best exaggerations?
No, they weren't. If there is anything, because people probably will not completely give an account of what happened to them. In fact, I saw about 28 young men who were beaten mercilessly and they were hospitalized for 2 days. As a physician, I saw the traumatic outcome of what happened to them. One of them I actually had to take to the Federal Medical Center, Umuahia, to be seen by a surgeon and had x-rays done to make sure there were no fractures. There was evidence that people were brutalized.
Why is the politics getting so tough in Abia State? I mean, it's supposed to be a race between brothers, as it were. Why is it getting bloody almost?
That's why all of us do ask the same question. Because in Abia there is a word, or I would say a phrase, that we use as Abians, Onyagala Wanneya, which is actually also the slogan for APGA. Onyagala Wanneya in Igbo means we are sort of paraphrased, or if you look at it in not so much the way it is said, is we are our brother's keeper, so to say. But the reverse is the case. For over 16 years, we have been led by people who feel that it's a family affair, and they don't give, would I say, the stage for people to come and say this is the person that has to lead us. And it's not that Abia has been better off for that. Abia is one of the least developed states in Nigeria as we speak. About 8 years ago, when I was the country director of IPAS, I did a baseline assessment in our healthcare system because I wanted to intervene in the public sector. We have 17 general hospitals. As at that time, only one general hospital was functional. for you to be able to intervene. 17, 1 out of 17. This is the kind of thing that we've seen. And Abians are so sworn on change. They want change.
Have you been able to see the governor? Because whether or not your party accepts, he's still the governor of the state, and he still owes all citizens, whether they have allegiance to his party or not, protection. So have you been able to meet with him to discuss this violent trend that we're seeing?
Well, I haven't personally, but I don't know whether my principal has. That's something to explore, I agree. But when you see that things are linked directly to government, we're not saying that the government did it, the governor did it himself, but everything that you see is linked to the government. It will be probably preposterous to go have that kind of conversation.
Are you inviting anybody else? I mean, APGA is not alone here. APGA and Abia is not alone. If you think that perhaps hostilities are rising so high, it's difficult, are you inviting anybody else to at least intervene in this matter? Because the fact that people are running for public office doesn't mean that they should lose supporters.
Well, one thing that we're clearly going to do before the next election is to have a world press conference and invite all the monitoring groups, both international and local, to first hear us as I'm X-raying here, and at the same time invite them to open their eyes. And because if they don't speak up, and this event of last 28th of March happens again, we're not sure of what the outcome would be. In the last election, Abians, we are well-meaning senior Abians actually restrained the youth from going berserk. So we're not sure we can guarantee that in the next election if what happened last time happens again. For some of us that have a civil society background and activism, we feel that violence is not the best way to go. We feel that conversational approaches will be the best thing to do. But at the same time, if you push a man to the wall, you can never say how the person will react. So at this point in time, we are calling on all well-meaning people to intervene. We're calling on the president to intervene. We're even calling also on the president-elect to intervene because in a few months' time, he will inherit leadership of this country. So in the whole of Abia, there were cases, brazen cases of breach.
Were all of this or any of them incidented with the police?
Yes, especially the one in the Sokoto Mundochi Federal Constituency where I come from and I'm running to represent. We've encouraged all our members who were brutalized to incident that in the police. Yes, because that's the first line of seeking requests.
And what's the feedback you're getting from the police?
Well, we haven't gone to ask them. We just told them, you just go make sure that anybody that was, if you were brutalized, go and make a report.
It shouldn't end there because elections are just a few days away. And if we get to see, not only from the camp of APGA, a couple of people, politicians especially, complaining about the activities going on in Abia State, it then means if you say they have been making reports to the police and you say, you haven't heard from anyone. Now we're talking about the police. That's not good a story.
Yeah, I agree. Just about a day ago, one of my coordinators in one of the local governments, I had told him to go around all the police stations and find out exactly how many people have made reports. And based on that, we can actually send that to the police commissioner.
But as a party, haven't you reached out to the police commissioner? We're asking this knowing full well that in all of the agencies that have been given accolades for this particular process, these elections, the police is one of them. So if you're saying that you have reported to the police and the police in Abia Command still hasn't said anything concerning the series or loads of complaints from your party members and others, then we should know.
Yeah, the police commissioner is well aware of what went on because reports were made directly to him too. And then I would assume that his deputies in all the local governments should be making incident reports to his office on a daily basis. So he would not say he's not aware. Like we say, we're waiting. And that's why we were worried about this was that the brutality meted on our people were by the security forces.